Millions were left without power across Spain and Portugal following a major electricity outage that also affected parts of France, Andorra and Belgium.
Catholic cardinals have set the 7th of May as the start date for the conclave to elect Pope Francis' successor.
Friedrich Merz's CDU approved the coalition deal with the SPD on Monday, and SPD's vote results are due Wednesday. However, the youth wing opposes the deal. Putin declared a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine that will start at midnight on 8th of May and be effective until May 10th, while warning against violations by Kiev. Millions were left without power across Spain and Portugal this Monday afternoon, following a major electricity outage. The blackout was reportedly nationwide in Portugal and widespread across Spain. Madrid's main airport lost power and other airports ceased operations, while mobile networks were also down. Metros in Lisbon and Madrid were halted, reportedly leaving passengers trapped. The outage also affected Andorra and parts of France and reportedly also reached Belgium. Spain's government held an emergency meeting to monitor the situation. The cause is unclear, but may be related to European grid issues or a fire that damaged the power line in France.
Well, I just landed here at Porto Airport in Portugal, and as you can see on the board behind me, there is some electricity. Many of those flights are delayed by several hours already. If I turn around, then the coffee shop behind me is continuing to serve what they have in the fridges. There's no electricity there, and they're doing all of their accounting by hand. The only people who seem at all concerned are the mobile phone salesmen who are guarding what's in their store. They too don't have any network at the moment or any electricity. I would say the situation is calm but confused as people wait for more information. Jeremy Wilkes at Porto Airport for Euronews.
Catholic cardinals have set the 7th of May as the start date for the conclave to elect Pope Francis' successor, delaying the secret vote by 2 days. Monday's informal meeting to set the date follows the death of Pope Francis, whose funeral was held on Saturday. According to the Vatican, the date was agreed to give time for the cardinals to get to know each other and find a consensus on a candidate before they are sequestered in the Sistine Chapel. The closed-door meeting will start inside the chapel and will involve some 135 cardinals from across the world. Although there is no set time frame for choosing the next pope, the two conclaves that took place in 2005 and 2013 only lasted 2 days. Many cardinals have cited a desire to continue Pope Francis' pastoral focus on people who are marginalized and against war.
We have officially entered the Novendiales, a 9-day period of mourning. Each day, one of the cardinals celebrates a mass for the late Pope, attended by a different group each day, based on their connection to the Holy Father. But while this is a time of mourning, cardinals prepare for the conclave. But what exactly does that involve, and what should we expect in the coming days?
I Novendiali sono delle messe che vengono affidate ai big e in cui, come è accaduto ieri per Parolin, i big manifestano il loro pensiero. Implicitamente è una campagna elettorale. Poi ci sono le congregazioni generali, dove ogni cardinale va per un tempo breve, succinto al microfono, e dice agli altri come vedrebbe la Chiesa. C'è chi lo fa in chiave di grande elettore, spingendo verso la candidatura di qualcuno, e c'è chi lo fa invece come autocandidatura. C'è chi non lo fa per autocandidarsi, ma poi come tale viene interpretata, accade a Bergoglio, che disse la famosa frase «sogna una chiesa che esca da se stessa» e venne immediatamente poi di lì a pochi giorni plebiscitato.
Meanwhile, preparations are underway in the Sistine Chapel where the conclave will take place. On Sunday, a mass was held by Cardinal Parolin and another one is held on Monday at 5 p.m. Giorgio Orlandi for Euronews. In the Vatican.
Friedrich Merz is closer to becoming German Chancellor after a CDU party approved a coalition deal with the Social Democrats on Monday. The agreement now needs approval from the Social Democrat Party members, with results expected on Wednesday. Representing around 12% of its members, the SPD youth group has come out forcefully against the agreement, particularly objecting to its strict migration measures and social policy concerns. If the SPD agrees to join the coalition, Parliament will vote on electing Merz as Chancellor on May 6th. The planned coalition aims to boost the economy and defense, but holds a slim majority. If elected by Parliament, Merz will become the 10th post-war German Chancellor, and his party will get 7 out of 17 members of the cabinet. The SPD will also get 7 ministerial positions, and the remaining 3 will go to CSU. Russian President Vladimir Putin declared a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine on Monday, starting at midnight on 8th of May and effective until May 10th. The Kremlin ordered the full cessation of hostilities on humanitarian grounds to mark World War II Victory Day, while warning against violations by Ukraine. Ukraine did not immediately react to the announcement, though it had accepted an earlier 30-day ceasefire proposal tabled by the US. A recent Easter truce was broken amid mutual blame. Putin's move comes as the Trump administration pushes for a possible wider peace deal.
Well, I think they're closer in general than they've been any time.
Indeed, Secretary of State Marco Rubio called this week very critical for continued US diplomatic efforts.
He's done an extraordinary action.
President Trump recently gave mixed signals, doubting Putin's sincerity after calling a deal close.
Both carrots and sticks.
Continued US military aid for Kiev could depend on Washington's next diplomatic moves.
Those items that
Russia insists a full ceasefire requires halting Western arms supplies and Ukraine's mobilization. Monday's ceasefire news followed reports of more overnight strikes by both sides.
European Council President Antonio Costa is on a 3-day visit to Bulgaria, where he toured the Arsenal factory, a Bulgarian firearms and ammunition manufacturer. He said Bulgaria could have a key role in supplying European defense capabilities, adding that investment in defense would also drive competitiveness.
Arsenal factory is a very good example of the link between defense and competitiveness, and in particular our Bulgarian defense industry, with its unique historical and regional know-how, is contributing to Europe's support for Ukraine.
Costa stressed that the security of Europe and Ukraine cannot be separated, calling for all European member states to increase their defense capacities. He also mentioned how his visit comes at a significant time for Bulgaria, as it has joined the Schengen area and prepares to join the Eurozone.
Greenland's Prime Minister Jens Frederik Nielson said that Greenland cannot be bought. His comments came after a meeting with Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen at her official residence on Sunday. Speaking to the media after their meeting, Nielson called dialogue from the United States not respectful.
The talks from the United States have not been respectful. The words used have not been respectful. And that's why we need to, in this situation, stand together. And in Greenland, we're willing to do that with all the countries that wants us good and wants to respect us.
Nielson made the remarks in defiance of US President Donald Trump's interest in taking control of the strategic territory.
The International Court of Justice has begun a week of hearings into Israel's obligation to facilitate humanitarian assistance to Palestinian civilians in the occupied territories. They come in response to a UN resolution from the General Assembly last year, asking the court to weigh in after Israel blocked UNRWA from operating on its territory. The Palestinian ambassador to the Netherlands told the court that Israel is killing and displacing civilians and targeting aid workers in Gaza. Israel denies this and did not attend the hearing.
It is another attempt to politicize and abuse the legal process in order to persecute Israel. The goal is to deprive Israel of its most basic right to defend itself. It is not Israel that should be on trial. It is the UN and UNRWA. The UN has become a rotten, anti-Israel and anti-Semitic body.
Israel has accused UNRWA of being infiltrated by Hamas, a claim the aid group denies. The hearings began as Gaza's humanitarian aid system is nearing collapse after Israel blocked all entry of food, medicine, and other supplies. Experts say the court's decision could impact international pressure on Israel to ease its restrictions, although it remains unclear whether it will have an effect, being not legally binding.
An alleged U.S. airstrike on a prison housing African migrants in Yemen has left at least 68 people dead, the Houthi rebels said on Monday. According to the Houthi-run Interior Ministry, some 115 migrants had been detained at the site. Graphic footage showed what appeared to be the victims and others wounded at the site, including those being treated at a packed hospital. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. military, but the American military acknowledged on Sunday it had carried out over 800 individual strikes since its month-long campaign. The Trump administration says it is targeting the Houthis because of the group's attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, a crucial global trade route, and on Israel. Monday's strike recalled a similar strike on the same compound in 2022 by a Saudi-led coalition, which at the time caused a collapse that killed 66 detainees.